your mom's home.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome to the next episode of Forged in Pain. This is Season 1, Episode 9. Getting ready to kick off the action here, so please enjoy. If you are squeamish at all, don't like swearing, don't like kid noise in the background, then you should probably change the channel now. If you don't like violence and probably some cool storylines, then you might as well leave now as well. If you are here to have a good time, enjoy the show, jump on the mic with me, B55-1981 as always. The mic is open. You can come in as your caw or as a fan and talk shop a little bit. Hi there, TNA. Thank you for joining. Let's get it going.
Can you order a pound of pepper?
Oh my god.
Callie from the Bay.
Wow.
What, babe?
It's a song.
Are you not on your mic right now?
I am. Why?
Do you hear what he just said?
It's a song. Order.
I asked you guys to shut up a little bit, right? We haven't seen him in probably an episode or two, but Gabriel Draven is coming out here to address the crowd first of all. I don't know, he may not be happy with what's been going on, but he's been all over the damn place. His Soul Sworn have been running like fucking crazy, attacking people left and right. So I'm kind of interested to see what he has to say here today. Usually entertaining if you can even understand what the hell he's talking about. So let's get him in here. Let him have his moment in the spotlight and get it out of the way.
A story of a man lost in the darkness until he was found by the light. What was once a life of self-centered ambition would become a life of meaning, fueled to drive a greater force. What was once a lawless thug in the darkness would in the light become a pure, undiluted paragon guardian. What was once a creature of destruction and chaos would now be granted his saving grace, become a divine protector of holy royal purity. In the darkness there lived a man, known to all as Cold Shields, a sinned, flawed, nomadic soul that cared for no one but his own ends. But in the light reborn, Vanguard Shield stands before you as the holy shield of the most sacred order of the Lord's decree, the personal guard to the Queen herself. The mortal known as Cold is dead, and from the ashes of his darkness the light came. And from that light, a true saint was born. Vanguard Shield cannot be stopped. And soon, very soon, he will come for Cerberus and anyone who stands in the way of our holy soul-sworn army. We are growing. We have more ranks to fill. No one is safe. None of you fools have an idea what forces you are playing with. See you soon. See you all real soon.
Oh my. Typical Gabriel Draven. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but I agree with you, Joe Rivers. I want to get up there and kick this guy's ass myself. I don't blame you at all. I'm sure pretty much anyone else on the roster, if they're not afraid of the guy, wouldn't mind getting a hold of him and kicking his ass too. Now that we got Mr. Draven's BS sort of out of the way, let's get on with some matches here. First match we got is a triple threat coming up here, so I know the guys are finishing getting ready. Stand by. I guess there's a special entrance coming up for them, so they kind of are going off the live feed just for a moment, but stay with us. Should only take a moment. This is nothing new. You guys who follow the show know that every now and then, because of how new we are, our camera system goes down now and then. So just bear with us, please. It'll be back up in a second. Looks like we are back up and live now, and Colt Shields and Cerberus going at it here backstage. These two best friends, brothers. Looks like the new Vanguard Shields, as he's being called, is attacking his friend Cerberus here. Cerberus fighting back. He took a couple shots without retaliating, and now it looks like he's finally tired of it, and he's returning fire here. Going back and forth, these two gentlemen that grew up as brothers in an orphanage since Cerberus was 5 years old. They're vicious, coming to blows right now. Colt's got him down on the ground. He delivers a huge right hook right after he drops him. We need to get some security out there before the rest of the Soulsworn get involved, because you know they will. You can see this some wrestler being interviewed, and they're oblivious to what's going on as these two men continue to fight out here backstage in the hallway. We need to get somebody down here. Break this up. Cerberus continuing to fight back, but we know Gabriel at least is in the building, and we know that Akane and Eli supposedly have matches later on today, so I'm just waiting for these other members to jump out there. Colt just beats down Cerberus. It's a pretty good fight, but I mean, we all know that Colt Shields has always been a badass. But here, he just seems overtaken by, I don't know if it's rage or jealousy or brainwash or exactly what's going on with Colt. We just saw a man beat down his best friend here backstage. Vicious attack. Before we could even get this first match started here. Get a hell of a triple threat. Supposed to open the show, but we had to divert our cameras to the backstage here as the Vanguard Shields, as Gabriel's calling him, just attacks his friend Cerberus. If you guys hadn't followed, Cerberus actually was the fan that jumped the barrier and came down and saved Colt, basically saved his life when that monster nightmare Jurok Kong was just pummeling Colt with chair shot after chair shot. Cerberus jumped the barrier, came out of the crowd to save him. And now Colt, I don't know what's come over him, but he's attacking Cerberus, the man that saved him. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Tracks.
Joe Rivers, you've got a match tonight. I see that you're following along and have the Twitter feed going. I mean, if you want to, feel free to jump in, Joe. You're mic'd up. I mean, you can mic up here and join us before you got to go out there and fight. Defend that Supreme title here. Can you put this on the counter? Coming in first is Ellis Sky. What a match he had during that 6-man match to find us the #1 contenders for the triple threat that's upcoming between Joe Rivers, Caleb Shaw, and Joe Osborne for the Battleborn title. Caleb made it to their... Sky was one of the last 3 competitors, and him, Love, and another gentleman battled out for, another almost 10 minutes after the first 3 members were eliminated. Min Love very heated, seemed like something personal. Close the fucking thing, roll it up. Like, open the shade all the way so she can't get into it. Sorry about that, guys. I have my kids here in the booth today, and they're trying to fuck up the shade that blocks me off from the audience. The Puerto Rican Nightmare coming in here. Marco Diaz. Oh, I apologize, Marco. The Marco Diaz, as he likes to be called. And I would hate to cross this man. I don't want to call him by his unpreferred name. That's for damn sure. Anyone who refers to himself as the Puerto Rican Nightmare isn't someone that I want to get on his bad side of. Another gentleman had a very good showing in the 6-man elimination matches. That's sort of why we threw this match together. Some of the more impressive members that did not win their respective match, but still stood out for us. Can you feel the love, baby? The final combatant here in this triple threat, James Love. I've been waiting to get him and Ellis Sky back in the ring here for some time, ever since they were involved in that six-man gauntlet match. Because these two, they had something personal going on. I don't know what was said between the two men, but if you go back a couple episodes in the list, you can watch that six-man gauntlet match, and these two kept going at each other. Whether there were other men going on, other men left in there or not, it seemed like these two men just kept going back and fighting each other. There was some sort of verbal insult or whatever that happened at some point, and ever since since the jaw-jacking, they sort of every opportunity they had, they were going at each other. Even if they had a mini break to fight one of the other competitors, as soon as they were able to turn around, they were right back at each other's throats. So I'm looking forward to seeing these two sort of standing up and towing a line, if you will. See if they have a continued beef or if it's just going to be a normal triple threat match. Look at this cocky the Marco Diaz here, just lounging on the top ropes. You could see Sky heading right down towards Love, but he was intercepted by Marco. Marco now attacking Love. He took Sky out real quick, and now he's going after Love. Maybe going after Love because he's the more established of the two men in the match that he's facing. So that's pretty smart. Sky right on him, not liking Marco taking him out first. He jumps right back on Marco here. And again, if anyone's on there, wants the mic up, it's B551981 as always. The chat line is open, folks. Little double team going on here. I was not expecting to see these two men double teaming and actually helping each other out. I was expecting them to be battling each other. Here we go. This is more along the lines of what I was thinking was going to happen as Love comes up with a huge clothesline onto Ellis Sky. Love taking it to the newcomer here. As now he's back on his fellow veteran Marco Diaz. What an exciting match it would be, these two going one-on-one. Match we could see in the near future. Appears that Ellis has been taking the most punishment, but as we saw in that six-man match, Ellis just keeps coming because he got pinned multiple times, took some hard shots, some finishers, and he just kept getting up. Diaz right back on Sky now. Sky trying to catch a break as he rolls out of the ring, and he's now sitting on that concrete floor, just sort of catching his breath here, letting these two men beat each other up in the ring. Maybe he can sneak in and catch a victory as they sort of beat the crap out of each other in the ring right now. Oh, Love just held Diaz up so Sky could kick him in the face. That's the second time I've seen these two work together. I guess they're trying to take Marco out so they can have each other one-on-one, is what it kind of seems like there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the rhyme behind their, or the reason behind their rhyme here. Take Diaz out so they can go at each other one-on-one. Sky, he's got his eyes on Diaz, but James, Mr. Love here, is stalking him. I don't know if Sky's seen him yet. He's coming behind him. Oh, there we go. Looks like Sky was just kind of playing possum there, kind of making Love chase him around a little bit, pretending he didn't know he was there, but that good ring awareness as he comes up with a code breaker. Diaz back in it. There's a vicious DDT. Go for a pin, Diaz. Is he pinned? Nope, he's decided to jump on and pummeling. I thought he was going for some sort of top mount pin there, but he's raining the fist down instead. A little ground and pound action here. Diaz has the momentum as he seems to be taking both men out one at a time. Right now would be a perfect time to hit a big move on Sky and come up with a pin while Love is out there on the ground. There we go, exactly what I thought he was going to do. There's a 2 count. Sky, ever resilient, kicks out of that. As I was speaking of earlier, Sky, this young man can take a beating and then keep going. I wouldn't be surprised if this match went 45 minutes. Jeez, I almost ate my words right there as Love tried to make a damn fool of your announcer. James Love, he's setting up for something, but Sky rolls out and he's delivering the finisher. Gets him up, and there's a huge DDT. That DDT was actually meant for Sky, but Sky rolled out, so Marco Diaz was hit with it. There's 2, 3. The incredible James Love comes up with a victory in this triple threat. Gets a pin over Marco Diaz. That huge DDT not even meant for Diaz. As you can see, I don't know if it's going to show the highlight again, but he was sizing up Sky for it, wanting to put Sky out of his misery. That's who he really wanted to pick the win up over. But Sky, with that great ring awareness for such a young wrestler, ends up rolling out of the ring. And, I mean, Marco Diaz turned around and caught that DDT, as we see right there, just as he stood up to his feet. There's our winner, James Love. Definitely feeling the love in the arena tonight as he picks up a huge win here in this triple threat. It didn't quite go as long as I thought it was gonna, but not short at all in excitement. Congratulations there, Mr. Love. Next match here, this is going to be a pretty exciting one too, as we've got Chris Jones. If you remember right, on last episode, he actually came out and said that he was no longer going to be a member of the Bullet Empire. He actually took it a step further. I mean, leaving the faction would be one thing, but he actually took it a step above and said that he was better than both Trey Jeter and Nick Peak. Nick actually came out and sort of in disbelief. They had some words. There was no actual physical altercation, but they definitely did a little jaw-jacking in the ring at each other after Chris Jones made this announcement. This is going to be his first match as a singles competitor away from his faction, and he's taking on Marcus Knight. This man, he had his first match a couple weeks ago. Actually, I think it was his first one was a tag match. He tagged with Marco Diaz, and they won. He's coming out here. We're going to get to see him in some singles action. the Playboy, as he's called. He's I mean, called Playboy. That sort of speaks for itself. I mean, he's I guess there were rumors that something about being in the porn industry. I heard. I personally don't watch a lot of porn these days. Not looking for any one specific, anyways. I mean, you pull up your your X videos or whatever, and you can basically watch whatever you want. Usually the single scene type of stuff, but apparently Marcus Knight, the Playboy, actually stars in some feature film type X-rated movies. So if any of you out there are fans, maybe look him up. I don't know if he goes by his actual name or some sort of stage name, what have you, but hey, to each his own, right? Thank you for the compliment there, Mr. Brandon Pickett. After Robbie dropped the bomb on you, I'm surprised you have anything good to say about Forged in Pain. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little temporary interruption. Now we're back on the action here as Marcus Knight and Chris Jones go at it. Very anticipated match here. especially seeing Chris Jones coming out. I don't know how Trey Jeter is going to react. I haven't spoken to him about it yet. We saw, again, Nick Peak came out, had some words to say about it. I am not exactly sure what the exchange was in the ring last week between Chris Jones and Nick Peak. It didn't come to blows as I kind of had expected it to, but we'll see if one of the other two members of the Bullet Empire make an appearance here tonight. Now, I don't know if that's a very wise decision there, Brandon. Robbie is the one that signs their paychecks. I hope you didn't mean they were coming to try to attack him himself. But that wouldn't be very wise, because I'm sure they'd probably be out of a job. Forged in Pain, you don't necessarily have to play by the rules, but if you start making demands of the staff, that's when you end up getting yourself in some sort of strange predicaments here. If you attack people, you have, whatever.